Good day to everyone. My name is Ong Ei Lin from Faculty of Art and Design from Southern University College, which is located in Johor Bahru, Malaysia. So, first of all, I would like to thanks to the organizer in organizing the 7th Kuala Lumpur International Multidisciplinary Academic Conference 2025. So, today I will be sharing from our research project titled Enhancing Design Education with Virtual Reality, so effects on student learning and performance. So I would like to introduce, I have another two co-author, which is Ms. Teo Pei Kian and Chuang Si Pei. So both of them are also from Faculty of Art and Design, Southern University College. So this study explore how immersive technologies and especially VR tools and the technologies can be integrated into design education and what effects it has on students. So learning outcome and also the learning performance will be examined in this research paper. So first of all, I would like to introduce what are the topics that we are going to present in this presentation from our research paper. So we will be introducing the introduction, the research objective, literature, highlights, methodology, research design overview, and of course our result, which is the quantitative result and qualitative result. And then we will go for further discuss in our discussion and conclusion and as well as the implication. So in the introduction for my papers, okay, we will be going to introduce what is VR, and of course, in today's digital era, design education must evolve to keep pace with rapid changes, changing technology. So traditional teaching tools, okay, which is in a conventional style of teaching, right, like 2D sketches or flat CAD rendering, often fall short in helping students fully visualize spatial relationship. So in the introductions, right, of course, 2D sketches is still important during the design process, but somehow when it goes to the concept developments, right, okay, so student always found that there are problems for them, okay, they feel difficulties in fully visualize the objects in full scale. So therefore, with the current technologies, right, okay, virtual realities tools, VR tools offer a potential solution where it can creating a more immersive, hands-on environments where students can experience their design at scale and in context. So basically, this research, okay, will be focusing on the integration of VR tools, okay, in student learning, and we will be examining the student performance, okay, in higher education design programs. So next will be our research objective. So the study had two key objectives. Okay, first to examine the integration of VR in design education. So the integration of technology, how it affects the student learning in design education. So then the next one, of course, when the integrations of VR tools apply in the student learning process, right, we will be also explore the challenge and limitation of incorporating VR tools into design classroom, and then ranging from infrastructure to student accessibility. So basically, these are the two research objectives that we are going to study in our research paper. So next, the literature highlights. So in my literature highlights, right, okay, there are few important points that I'm going to study before we go for the research. So in the past studies, right, okay, we found out how VR has strong potential in both industry and education. So in industry, right, it used to validate design concept, reduce prototyping, as prototyping basically is quite costly, okay, and even train the manufacturing workforce, okay, in the industry. So when it comes to the application of VR in education, VR improves students' partial awareness, engagement, and ability to iterate design in real time. Okay, however, in some of the researchers, right, they also noted that there are some mixed results. Like for example, physically, some students struggle with technology and their learning skill progress, and some still prefer using the traditional screen. But user experience and context also matters, okay, in the results, okay, from the previous researchers. So in our research, right, okay, we adopted a mixed method approach, okay, which combining both quantitative and qualitative data. And our participants were 30 second year students in industrial design, okay, who enroll studio project modules. So basically, these undergraduate students, when they go for the research, right? Okay, they comes with prior experience with CAD software, which means they had already learned how to construct a 3D models in CAD software. Okay, so the tools that we are going to use, right? Okay, in our research methodology, basically we use CAD software for the baseline modelings, and then introduce VR tools for the focus group. So and also there are rubric-based assessment to assess the student performance, and then we have surveys, observations, and interviews to help us evaluate both process and the outcome. Then will be our research design overview. So I would like to introduce that to present that. Okay, for in our research design overviews, right, the students were split into two groups. So which is control group using the traditional CAD tools till the end of the design process, and a focus group who continue their modeling in VR environments. Okay, so the process, right, started with a pre-test using a standard design tools where everyone, both control groups and the focus group, using the same methods, okay, in the beginning of the stage. And then when students move into the concept developments and modelings, right, the focus groups were imported. They imported their design into VR and refined them in a immersive setting. So in that settings, right, okay, the focus group will refine their design, solve their problems until the end of the process. So at the meantime, right, the control group stay with the traditional tools where they continue to build their prototypes, okay, or mock-ups, okay, and also they will refine their research in a CAD software, okay, till the end of the process. So the final projects, right, okay, lastly, we'll go into the last stage, which is post-test with rubric evaluations. So final projects were evaluated through a structured rubrics by the faculty members. So we will invite two assessors who are industrial design lecturers to assess the final projects. Okay. Then in the results, right, so we have two type of result. One is the quantitative result and another one is the qualitative result. So in the quantity results, right, the data shows a significant improvement in the focus group. So there are two main important points, okay, that showing a significant improvement in focus group is the student performance. So especially in the criteria of functionalities and user-centered design. So the students from the focus groups, right, basically they perform better than the control groups, okay, especially in these two criteria. So they improve the functionality of the products, okay, by experimenting the design, okay, in immersive environments, and user-centered design as well. So they solve the problems, okay, based on their targeted user, okay, and also these improvements were statistically significant, indicate that students who work in VR environments have better understanding of the product usability and spatial context. Okay, in short, right, okay, they were able to design a better because they could experience their concept in more realistic way, which is realistically. So in quantitative result, right, the pair sample t-test confirms that the statistical is significant. So when it comes to the quality results, right, okay, through the surveys and interviews as well as the observation by the assessors and the instructors, right? So there are teams had identified, there are three teams. So our qualitative data review three key themes. So first is the student had improved spatial understanding, where VR helps them to visualize the scale, the proportions of the products, and also the spatial layout are more accurate. So some of the students they had commented that they redesign the interior, okay, after seeing it in the VR, okay, which is the product interface. So one of the students, and then second, they will increase engagement and motivation. So when student they have a real, nearly real views on their products, right, they have more motivation in improving the products. So this is also, we can consider it as the increased engagement and motivation. And students found that the process is enjoyable, and they felt it was realistic and fun. Okay. And lastly is the reflective design thinking. So when they can see the product clearly and truly visualize each of the detailings on their designs, right? Okay, they can engage in more interactive and reflections. So one of the students also commented that many revise their design multiple times after testing them with VR, because in the traditional way, right, usually when they build up a mockups, right, they couldn't visualize in real unless they printed out in prototypes, which is very costly for students to do a lot of prototyping, okay, the 3D prototypes printing. So that's why they couldn't revise it. They only found out certain problems and slightly make some changes, and then they come up with a final design. But in the other ways, right, okay, since they can revise the design in the immersive environments, so they're able to do a lot of changes without any printing costs, okay, which is they can really look at the detailings of the products and know what are the problems, found the problems, and be able to solve it. Okay, this is the comments, okay, from the survey, and these are the things that we found out from the qualitative result. And also we goes to the discussion. So in our discussions, right, we from the results, right, we the VR supports the COPS experiential learning cycles, which is concrete experience, uh, reflective observation, abstract conceptualizations, and active experiments. So it aligns with this with COPS experiential learning theory. Okay, most effective when students move through observations, and then they're able to reflect what are the problems reflected from the design, and they're able to conceptualize their ideas, okay, visualize their ideas from their research analysis. They visualize their ideas and transform it into a real product. And also each action taken, okay, when they found out there are things to be improved, okay, in their products. So we all make this cycle more tangible and fluid. So students were more confident, and then more creative and more collaborative. Okay, however, during the studies, right, there are also some challenge. So from the instructors and also the assessor, as well as the participants. Okay, first of all, that is one things that we need to admit is the costing of the VR tools actually is very high cost. So if let's say we have a large group of students, they are limited hardware for them to use it. And if let's say our tools is limited, okay, are limited, right? And we have a big group, so there are also sometimes restrictions for the students as they need to take turns to use the facilities. Okay, and occasionally there are some students having motion sickness and technical issues. Okay, and if let's say we implemented this facilities in the faculties, right, okay, we need to have some budgets. Okay, the facilities will need the faculties will need some allocations, budgets on training the instructors. So these factors must be considered before we scaling up the VR implementation. Okay, so basically these are the discussion in our paper. Then we would like to conclude to summarize that basically in our studies, right, the virtual reality significantly improves student learning outcome in these studies, especially in terms of spatial reasoning, okay, motivations, and design performance. So it allows students to experience and refine their ideas in a realistic, immersive way that traditional CAD tools simply can't replicate it. So while the sample size was small, the findings offer a compelling case for deeper integration of VR into the design education. So in our implication and recommendations, right, there are four main things that we would like to highlight. So in these studies, right, there are four implications for design educator and administrators. Okay, when they like to have this integrations of VR into the design studies. So first of all, VR should be strategically integrated into design studio modules. Okay, secondly is the faculty readiness, as the educator need training and time to adapt their teaching methods. So thirdly is the infrastructure. Okay, so institutions must invest a scalable and maintainable VR system and also the accessibility. So students must have equitable access and supports for using the tools. So lastly, we would like to recommend that future research should explore a long-term impacts of VR in design and extend across different creative disciplines like game design, interaction design, and etc. Okay, so this is our implications. So that's all for our presentation. So thank you for your time and attention. And I hope this presentation has sparked some ideas on how immersive technologies like VR can enhance in design education. Thank you very much.